Kiss's private investigator.
It's the Kyle and Jackie O show here this morning at Kiss, the Kiss PI.
Oh, yeah. This is where if you want a PI free of charge, we'll cop the charge for you.
Yeah.
Could be anything. You could be wanting to see if an employee is stealing off you or whether your husband's cheating or whatever the story may be. We've got our own PI from Lipstick Investigations, David, on the case for you. Now, Jane is someone who needs help in this department. Jane, good morning.
Hi, Jane. How are you?
Morning, how are you?
Oh, good.
very
This has
good.
been a long, long search for you. You've been wanting to know the answer to this for a long time, and it's all about your granddaughter, Rachel. Can you tell us a little bit about the story here and why you so desperately want to find her?
Well, I haven't seen her since she was 2 years old. My son and his partner split up, and she found another guy and ran away, and I've been looking for her ever since.
All right, so how long has she been sort of out of your life?
15 and a half years, nearly 16 years.
So,
And you've heard neither hide nor hair of her, just gone?
Not a thing, just vanished in the thin air.
all this time you've been wanting to find Rachel, your granddaughter, and I can understand, any grandparent would understand that it's almost like your own child. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what my mum tells me. She said she looks at my daughter like her own child.
And do you go, well, it's mine, get away?
No, but that's got to be heartbreaking for you. How hard have you tried to look for your granddaughter?
I've set up a Facebook page looking for her.
Yep.
When I thought she was old enough to have her own Facebook account.
Yeah.
And the last name and address, I used to sit down the road in the car to see if they would go back there.
Oh, Jane.
Oh, you still go to the street and see if you could see her wandering around?
Well, I haven't been there for a while, but she did live for a while with the boyfriend's family.
Yeah.
And that's the last place that I knew, so
You go there always in the hope that you may see her.
well, you never know.
Yeah, well, that makes me feel sad. You're sitting in the car looking down the street.
Yeah, Jane, that's a heartbreaking story.
I mean, even young girls in the street, if I think there's a family resemblance, I've gone up and I've asked them if their mum's,
Right.
it's just, you know.
And you've never had any luck, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't
No.
be turning to us. So, Jane, you're hoping that you will be in touch with Rachel and be reunited with your granddaughter. We've had David on the case for a week now. He's our private investigator. He has been looking into this for you, and we do have a result for you. So, coming up next, you can meet David and he can tell you exactly what's happening with Rachel and what the outcome is here.
Okay, so just hang on there for a second.
Yep.
And we'll get him to fill you in on everything that he's found out, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, honey. Stand
All right,
by
hold
there,
tight,
Jane. The results next here at Kiss.
Kiss's private investigator.
It's the Kyle and Jackie O show this morning here at Kiss 106.5. We've got our PI out, David from Lipstick Investigations. Jane's been on the phone. Jane's a grandma, and she's looking for her granddaughter who'd vanished out of her life when she was only 2, which is about 15, 16 years ago.
Now, she's been desperately looking for Rachel. She drives to her street that she used to live in, sits out the front in the hope that maybe she'll just show up one day. She's set up Facebook pages. She's done she approaches random people on the street that have a slight resemblance to the family. She's done everything and she's had no luck. So, Jane, we have got our private investigator, David from Lipstick Investigations. He's been looking into this over the last 7 days.
David, meet Jane. Jane, meet David.
Oh, hi, Jane. How are you?
Hi, David. How you going?
I'm good. I'm really good.
David, what have you found and how difficult has it been to track this down?
Well, it certainly wasn't an easy case, this one. We've got an 18-year-old girl who doesn't come up on many databases, as you can appreciate. So she wasn't easy to find at all. Our other big problem was that the name that Jay knows her as is not the name she's got now, not the surname. So all we're looking for is a girl called Rachel, and that's obviously very difficult to do. So we've had to play it back, go and find Rachel's mother first, and then be looking into Rachel's mother. We thought we'd got a good clue, and then she disappeared as well off the databases because, as it turned out, she went and got married. So then we had to go back even further and find the grandmother on the other side, and we found them up on the Gold Coast. And then once we found them, we were able to contact them, bring it forward, chase back to Rachel's mum and find her back in Sydney, and that's how we've been able to do it.
Right. What is it that you want to tell Jane on the line,
Sounds
David?
like a lot of phone calls and a lot of investigation happened.
Certainly was a lot of phone calls, Kyle, and a lot of other stuff we had to do as well. But we've continued our investigation, and we have located her. We have located Rachel, living in Western Sydney with her mother still. She's happy, healthy, doing quite well from everything we've been able to ascertain. Unfortunately, though, she doesn't really want to touch base at this stage. It's all a bit of a shock to her, I'd say.
Jane, how does that sit with you? Are you surprised that when Rachel was contacted, she declined to take it any further?
Not really. I sort of half expected it. I mean, we don't know what she's been told all her life growing up, and it must be a real shock to her. I'm just very happy that she's been found and she's good.
Yeah, I suppose that there's two things that are probably going through your mind. Is she happy, alive, and well? That's ticked off, so that's happy. But you must want to eventually see her face to face and meet her and know her.
My God, if I could meet her this minute, I would give anything for that.
Jane, we've got Rachel's auntie, Auntie Christie, on the phone. She's in contact a lot with Rachel. She's coming on the air to talk to you. Good morning, Christie.
Good morning, everybody. How are we?
Hi, Doug. Good. Thanks for coming on.
You heard what Jane had to say. She's very upset. She really wants to make contact with her granddaughter. Any light you can shed from your side of the family here?
Simply exactly the same as what's already been said. She's a very happy, loving young lady. She's doing extremely well, and as you can imagine, this has come as a big shock. And as we all know also, there are two sides to every story.
Yeah.
So when she is ready within her own time, maybe then something can happen.
Right, so to leave it up to her to decide and first absorb the fact that, there's this grandma out here that wants to meet her, and then as a young woman she'll decide when she's ready to meet, if at all.
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
Jane, is there anything you wanted to ask Christie?
Christy, do you have my contact details to give to her?
Not currently, but I'm sure that will be organised.
Do you two know each other, Jane and Christie?
Yes.
Oh, you know each other?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a long time ago.
Oh, you guys should catch up. Sounds like you got not much to say to each other, I suppose.
As you said, it's been a long time.
Oh, gee, see, my family's very fractured. Like, my auntie doesn't speak to the grandmother hates the father hates everyone that ever lived. It's a fractured community, my family.
Sounds like this might be a fractured family as well.
Like, these things happen in families.
I think there's a lot of fractured families out there.
I know. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all just hold hands?
Oh, wonderful.
Lovely.
Jane, is there anything else you want to say to Christie before, because we will give her your number, obviously, but is there anything else you want to say?
Christy, I don't know, what the whole story was, that just to talk to her, just to see her,
everything has been explained to your granddaughter, and it's entirely up to her whether or not she makes contact.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess there's nothing more we can do. I mean, she's 18 now, so she's a young lady.
Well, at least she knows.
Adult.
At least she knows that you want to meet her.
Yeah, at least you don't have to continue the search, Jane. You now know that she has your number, and I have no doubt, I'm sure at some stage she will contact you. I hope she does.
I've usually found in this situation when there's a huge inheritance waiting, people will make some sort of contact. Well, that's just my own experience. I didn't speak to my grandparents my whole life until, look how much they're going to leave you. It's been a long time. I make a call. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, just tell her there's a couple of mil here waiting for her.
Yeah, well, I don't think think that's going to change at the moment.
Okay, well, thanks
All
for
right,
your call.
Christy and Jane, thank you very much.
Appreciate it, ladies. Thank you, David from Lipstick Investigations too, my friend. You're a good investigator.
Yeah, thanks, Kyla. I worked hard on that one, that's for sure.
Tough
I've hung up
one.
from the ladies now. Sounds like there's some dramas there.
Yes, I would. There's a lot of bad blood there, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. Well,
You scoop around, find any mess there, David?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no forensic database of who's fighting with who in these situations, Kyla.
What a shame.
fair enough. Well, listen, if you would like something investigated, David will do it for you. You can contact us. It's there on our kiss1065.com.au webpage.
Thanks, David. Nice to chat, buddy.